Hell hath scales. Shin Godzilla. This is the 31st Godzilla movie, 29th if you only count the Japanese installments. The plot. On November 3rd, the same day Godzilla 1954 was released into theaters in Japan, something has exploded off the shores of Tokyo. The Japanese have classified it as Gojira and the US Godzilla. As the Big G makes his way to Tokyo shore, the devastation ensues. The future of Tokyo rests on the shoulders of the team that are trying to find a way to destroy the hellish beast via its genetic coding and the greatest mind Japan has to offer. Can they succeed, or will Godzilla be proven indestructible, immortal, and a god incarnate? While mostly being a character-driven story, it makes sense why it is done in such a way. Each character serves a purpose in getting the solution solved. It is a realistic look at how something like this would be handled in such fashion. From main to side characters, everyone has their time to shine. The acting is solid from everyone. Not even the dubbing could flub it up. However, much like all Godzilla films, we don't come here for the characters. Even though they are integral to the story and have purpose besides pointless ramblings, we want to see the Big G. I felt he wasn't it enough. His scenes are a bit spread out, but whenever he reappears on screen, it is truly terrifying. Here's the thing, though. People complained about there not being enough Godzilla in the 2014 version. But even in the older movies, there wasn't an abundance of his presence either. Let us talk about the characters here for a minute. Rando Yaguchi, played by Hiroki Hasegawa, is the main character we follow. His wishes are to have everyone working together to better the world and stop the danger that Gojira presents. He doesn't see the beast as a minor inconvenience on one's soil. Things could get quite hairy or scaly in this case if not dealt with immediately. The character of Kyoko Ann Patterson, played by Satami Ishihara, is a bit overzealous at times. Like, she comes off as she's somewhat smug, and that she relishes everything about her position. However, as the film goes on, you can see that that is not true. She cares deeply for Japan, and doesn't want it to become a war-torn wasteland due to the dropping of nukes. Mikako Ichikawa plays Hiromi Ogoshira. She is the one who is always right in her hypotheses, and can articulate a lot of good points that usually get shot right down. However, she comes out on top as a memorable and smart character. There are a ton of characters that make up this movie, and I could go on for another 5 minutes giving you the rundown, but what good would that do? Everyone has one objective, with some differing motivations, but nothing too deterring from the main conflict. So with that, I shall go into the gore, the effects. There's quite a bit of blood in this film. Almost entirely it comes from Gojira. It's a bold move to have Gojira bleed, but it's not unheard of. In some respects, I kind of wish he wasn't able to be wounded. The incarnation of the classic monster is horrifying and visibly invincible. The design is scary and was done entirely with CG with assisted motion capture. That's right, no suit. They did have one, but it didn't work properly on set and in the context of the film. I and many other people had their concerns about the design, but for all it's worth, it works. The motion picture soundtrack, Shiro Saguchi composed some breathtaking music for this film. Even all the older scores that were used in the earlier Godzilla films were reorchestrated. Tons of themes from the Showa Heisei era of Godzilla flicks are used here as well, and they work wonders. Sound design also has a big part here. The OG Gojira roar is present. and only used when the kaiju king is hurt. It makes it all the more effective. In my opinion, this is one of the better Godzilla movies out there. It focuses on what Japan as a nation and the rest of the countries united as one can and should always do in crises. Even though it sways more towards the political side of how they'd handle a situation like this, it still doesn't overtake the movie's overall enjoyment value. And for a near 2-hour movie, that's always a plus. Its quick editing keeps things interesting, and I have no problem returning to this flick time and time again. Overall, I give Shin Godzilla a 4 out of 5. Lion Brian Gatto, host of Horrors Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below to comment and subscribe.